and welcome to Owlbutcast. No, I wasn't. I was copying you. I was copying you. I wasn't making fun of you. No, copying. Yes. Welcome to Owlbutcast again. If you remember last week, we talked about the possible vote in the House of Commons and the House of Lords, together, the Houses of Parliament, to do with the bill about sending illegal migrants to another country, to Rwanda. And we thought we'd do a bit of a recap and let you know what happened, just in case you didn't stay up. I think it was all over about 10:30 at night. Basically, originally the House of Lords said they had 10 things that they didn't like and they'd like to change. And they sent them back to the House of Commons, and the House of Commons voted and said no, we want them left in, because the Conservative government has a majority, a big majority in the House of Commons, so they were able to get all their MPs to agree. So sent it back to the Lords, and the Lords thought about it and they decided they'd send it back again, but this time only 2 changes did they need. Well done, yes, that's 8 less. Only 2 changes did they need. The House of Commons voted again and said, no, we'd like it to stay as it is, sent it back. The House of Lords had another think and they said, oh, well, we do want this one though. We do want this one, we'd like this one to be in, which was one that actually said something about having a committee to advise the Home Secretary as to whether it was safe to send people to Rwanda, which seemed a bit strange because the bill was actually known as the Safety of Rwanda Bill. But anyway, and they sent that one back and the House of Commons voted on it and they said no, we'd like it, and I went back to the House of Lords again, and this time they said okay, we give up. And the bill was passed. If you did follow it, it gives you some idea of sometimes how government works in this country, how the Houses of Parliament operate. The House of Commons, of course, elected by you, well not you, but by me, on my own obviously. No, about 40 million other people probably. And the House of Lords, unelected. You're there because you're either made a peer or you're the son of somebody who was a peer who's died or whatever, but it's not elected. And what was going on was what is known as parliamentary ping pong, because it goes from one house to the other and back and back and back. Anyway, it's now been passed, and according to the Prime Minister, according to Rishi Sunak, there will be about 10 to 12 weeks before the first flights take off. And we, ordinary people, will have to wait and see whether that happens. And if it does, how many people are put on that flight and how many flights go. Those are the sort of questions we're asking. However, somebody has emailed me, and I got the email this morning, so you can tell. Are we doing, oh yes. We always seem to, yeah. We are doing another slightly impromptu Owlbutcast, because I got an email this morning and somebody emailed and said, why don't we send the illegal immigrants back to France, which is where they came from. Oh, actually, there's something else I'd like to tell you, but I'm going to do that after the break. Am I getting delusions? No, we're going to have a break. Like on Channel 4, or ITV, or Sky. Yeah, okay, any of those, yes. We'll tell you about that after the break. School's finished for the day. No more need to be inside that classroom. But what are you going to do? You might go outside and play. Or maybe they'll go home. Or maybe the school has an after-school club. We've heard of one school that has an after-school club all about Owlbutcast. Yeah, really. Each week, after the bell goes, or whatever happens in your school, in my day the bell used to go, and then we'd go with it because we didn't want to stay. No, that's a joke, forget that one. After the bell's gone, at the end of the day, they go into a classroom and they watch last week's video. And they don't have to do it inside. If it's a nice sunny day like today, they can go outside in the playground, go somewhere, talk about it there. And we also know that they've made some little films about it, done their own little news bulletin. We thought it was a good idea if we told you all about that, because maybe you'd want to do something similar. So we made this little advertisement in the middle of Owlbutcast just to let you know, because you know it makes every little kills 99%. Should have gone to does exactly what it says on. Oh, we haven't got a can. Versprung der. Where did I get that from? Wait, because it's an owlingly good idea. By the way, apparently I've got funny thumbs. My granddaughters tell me. Right, what are you doing? You're having a break? Oh yeah, okay, right, fine. Right, we're back now, and if you want to do something like that, do go ahead and you can write and tell us about it, what you're doing with your after school club. But the reason that we don't send them back immediately to France, which is where they've obviously come from, is because there are international laws that mean we can't do that. Now, when we were part of the European Union, there was a sort of agreement between all the members that if you wanted, you could send some illegal immigrants back to other countries. But we're no longer in the European Union, so we can't do that. So the Conservative government have come up with this idea that if they tell everybody they're going to send them to Rwanda if they come to England, because obviously most of them are landing on the south coast, having come across the English Channel. If they tell them that, that will deter them, and people will think, oh no, I don't want to go there. Another question actually that was asked was, why do people come to England and why don't they stay in France? Well, if you think about it, we once had what we call the British Empire. We'll talk about that one day. Not a wonderful thing to be proud of, but we had it. And that means there are a lot more people around the world who actually speak English. Yes, like you. And so think about it. If you're fleeing from terror in your own country, would you rather go to a country where you can't speak the language? I think about 3% of the total population of the world actually speak French, whereas nearly 20% speak English. So, would you rather go there, or would you rather go to a country where you can actually understand, not everything necessarily, but some things? So I think that's one of the reasons why they come across. But there has, today, a problem has occurred. Well, not just today, it's been occurring for some time. Because, as you know, after we left the European Union, we had a problem with one part of the United Kingdom, namely Northern Ireland. Because Northern Ireland shares an island with the Irish Republic, which is the southern part of that island. And one of the agreements we made that was that the border between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland would remain open. It wouldn't require people to have passport checks and that sort of thing. What has now happened is that the Irish Republic have said that an awful lot of people, illegal immigrants, are coming across that border into their country because, so they say, they're frightened of being sent to Rwanda. This would mean, if this were true, and it may well be, I'm not saying it's not, but if this is true, that means that maybe the Prime Minister's policy is working. Except that policy hasn't happened yet. And people are still coming across the English Channel and dying because they capsize or they drown. So it's not definitely for that reason, but the Irish government are saying, we don't want this, we're going to send them back. Now, this is going to sound a bit childish, sorry, but this is the way government works. The UK government have said, we're not going to take them back, if they've come from here, because we're not allowed to send them back to France. And the editor's decision is final. No, they didn't say that. So, we have now got a situation where the Irish government say they're going to introduce a law which will mean they can send them back. The British government are saying, we won't accept them if you send them back. The only thing that slightly worries me, and this is my opinion, I always tell you when it's my opinion, not fact, all the rest of it is being reported. What worries me is that if these illegal immigrants have arrived in England, on the south coast, in boats, and yet have somehow managed to make their way up to, I don't know, Holyhead I think is where a ferry goes across to Northern Ireland. So if they've made their way there, and they've then got the ferry, and they've then arrived in Northern Ireland, and then they cross into the Irish Republic, how come we didn't know? How many illegal immigrants are there wandering around Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, anywhere, that we don't know about? Because obviously these illegal immigrants have come across, somehow got themselves on a ferry, got across to Northern Ireland, and then walked into the Irish Republic. There you are. Politics is a bit silly. Sometimes it is, yes, you're absolutely right. But that's what's happening at the moment. Don't forget the bit about having an after-school Owlbutcast club. Oh, will you? Yes. Albert says if you do have an Owlbutcast club and you want to send us an email telling us about it, send it to albert@owlbut.co.uk, or put it up there, albert@owlbut.co.uk, and he will do you a personal message. And you'll be honoured to get it. Yes. Right, that's this week's Owlbutcast. As I said, watch the news over the next few days, see what happens with this problem in the Irish Republic and Northern Ireland, and what the British government say and what the Irish government say. It probably won't be that high up on the news tonight, because I understand that the First Minister of Scotland has resigned. That's another story, but we're trying to deal mainly with England here, as you know. We do English history and we're looking at the counties of England, but that will probably take precedence tonight if you watch the news. But somewhere, hidden away, there will be this story about the Irish Republic and United Kingdom and the migrants. Maybe in 10 weeks' time we'll have another Owlbutcast and we'll see the first ones being sent off. Do you reckon? I wouldn't bet on it. Bye.